Every show needs a big finish.
Hold on tight, mate. This is gonna be a blast. So that's how it all went down. Literally. Just one thing left to do, eh? Time to bring the fun. Time to... Time to bring the pain.
我也是5颗。有了，我也有一个东西有颗，但是那个东西你们绝对看不起。枪战不是本身就是氪金吗？军枪不是本身就是氪金游戏吗？ 动了，我刚断麦。你让我网络一下，我是下载游戏，让一下。Apex， 我觉得它的。 没有啊，你等我一下。我就开训练场。图片是往上抓的，图片是往上抓的，然后是没有版权，所以我可以放在我的后面。 哦，我以为是模拟之选，吓到。之家之选不一样。
Tell the devil Fuse sent ya.
Walter Fitzroy in
Here comes the monologue.
Mayhem.
Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of our dev stream, and we got a big one. We're covering season 8. I can't believe we're here. I can't believe season 8 is here. It is February of 2021, which means we're coming on 2 years of Apex as well. We got a lot of really awesome stuff to talk about that we're doing for season 8. This is a really fun, explosive season for Apex Legends. For this season, we've got a bunch of new folks that have been working super hard on all the amazing stuff you guys are going to be playing. when the season drops on February 2nd. So I think to kick things off is we've got a bunch of new folks here. Why don't we take a minute to let everybody sort of introduce themselves? Name and title. Brian, why don't we start with you?
Sure. Hi there. I'm Brian Vidovich. I'm a game designer here in Vancouver.
Awesome. Sam Gill.
Howdy, g'day. I'm Sam. I do words and stuff.
Our writer for Fuse. We'll be talking more about him later. Randolph.
Hi, I'm Randolph Stayer. I'm a level designer here in Vancouver as well.
Awesome. Eric.
Hey everyone, I'm Eric. I'm also a game designer up in Vancouver.
And OT.
Hi, I'm OT, and I'm a software engineer here at Respawn, and I'm also the game designer on Fuse.
Awesome. John.
Hello. My name's John. I was recently brought on as a live balance designer for all things balance, both for legends and weapons. I'm a Sweaty Wraith main, have been since day one. So yeah.
Making your big debut on DevStream to talk about patch notes. Welcome, my friend. Josh.
I gotta say, John, you have the best mic out of the bunch.
Yeah, that baritone.
I'm very impressed.
Yes.
My name's Josh Millihan. I'm a narrative designer.
Awesome. And Ed.
I'm Eduardo Agostini, World Director for Vancouver.
Woo! What a cast. Awesome. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. I think to kick things off, right? New season, new legend, of course. We've already announced Fuse. You guys have seen his lore piece. We've had their CG trailer go live, our gameplay trailer go live. So by now, if you haven't seen, go ahead and click on the links and check out all the stuff on our YouTube channel. But we're going to go into some detail here on some of stuff about Fuse. So, hey, Sam, why don't you kick us off here and talk a little bit about sort of his personality and fantasy that you guys are going for with Fuse?
Sure. So Fuse is our walk and talk an AC/DC song. I feel like that's the best way to describe him. That conjures a particular image. He's the personification of badass, someone you want to hang out with, someone you want to listen to as he tells his tall tales. Just someone who exudes joy and good times. A man with a particular love of things that go boom, and he's not above using a pun or two, but that might be my influence.
That's always one of my favorite parts is where playtesting and characters coming together is the dialogue lines that start to come up with pings and the banter between the characters. And yeah, the stuff you did with Fuse is awesome, hilarious character. OT, you've done some of the work on his kit and design. So talk a little about his explosive kit, speaking of which, that he comes with and how he's going to work for players.
Yeah, sure. So, Sam wrote a very multifaceted character with some nuance, but from the gameplay side, we kind of wanted to lean into the guy who likes to make things explode. So that's pretty much what his kit is all about. We'll start with his passive. It's called Grenadier. He's able to stack 2 grenades per inventory slot instead of just the one. He's also able to use his mechanical arm to fire grenades faster and further than other legends. This ability was actually one of the few things to survive the first prototype of Fuse. It was compelling enough to build a character around because it made both you play differently. You would be able to sort of control squad movements from long distances using explosions in ways that you couldn't quite do with something like a sniper. And also, it would change the way that your teammates would play because they were constantly looking for grenades for you, which was kind of nice. That distance aspect is also something that we carried on to his other abilities as well, just because we found it so compelling. His tactical is called Knuckle Cluster. He fires a sticky grenade that explodes into a bunch of cluster bombs that then explode into more cluster bombs and covers an area and many explosions. May or may not be inspired by a certain North Star Titan weapon. Each of the explosions does, low damage individually, but getting caught in that is not a great time. So it's a pretty good area denial tool. It's pretty good at getting people forced out of cover. It's also got pretty good utility. It's able to blow up doors pretty quickly. You can do something like take a door, have the first explosion blow it up, and then have the rest of the explosions kind of go into the room, disable the traps and maybe legends that are hiding just around the corner. Really excited to see what players do with that. His ultimate is called the Mother Load. Fuse is able to target an area with his launcher, affectionately known as Wally. He launches a mortar that air bursts into a bunch of fire bombs that effectively surround the area in a ring of fire. Obvious use case is you're trying to trap players in there and take advantage of it. It forces the players trapped to make a choice to either walk through it and take a big chunk of damage. There's some tick damage as well after you run out of it, and slow, so it makes it punishing, but maybe it's the only choice you have to escape. Or you can hide behind cover, use your mobility to, if you're someone like Horizon or Octane, maybe you can get your team out. The whole point is to take advantage of trapping players while they're having to make that choice. And I've also seen it used in other ways, like blocking off escape routes, or keeping people from rushing you. I've seen in a playtest surrounding yourself in the ring of fire, so you can have time to heal and have a bit of a safe space. But yeah, it's a really fun kit, and I'm really looking forward to players trying it out.
Very cool. Thank you, guys. Yeah, so we can't wait for players. Get your hands on Fuse and tell us what you think of them, and we can't wait to see what you do with them as always, because you guys come up with stuff we never even think of, which is amazing with the characters. Next up, let's talk about another huge change to the game, massive map update. That's what it's done. I know players saw the trailer. You destroyed Kings Canyon, and it's actually kind of the opposite of that. Right, man, tell us all about it.
Okay, so I think our biggest focus and our major goal with the map is expanding the overall size of it. This is the third time that we're returning back to Kings Canyon, so some challenges there with being the third iteration on the map. So we really decided to focus on that northwest edge of the map, which generally maybe doesn't have so much playtime current rotation. So that's kind of why we decided to dig into that. So instead of taking some stuff up and blowing it up, we destroyed the northern mountain range, which gives us a whole brand new area of the map to play with. And the ship that you saw in the trailer has crashed down. That's our brand new northern point of interest there. And that basically stands out to create more of a King of the Hill style combat experience, which is also surrounded by our new Echo Camp buildings, which are generally used to loot up and then assault the ship with. So just to the northwest of that, we used to have these slum lakes, and that's now been wiped off the map, and now we've got these spotted lakes, which have replaced and refreshed that area, I like to say. It looks a whole lot more lively now with the blue water and all that running through, rather than the dirty garbage that used to be there. So the new POI in that area is our filtration dam. And this is basically set up to prevent all the toxins from leaking outside the map with the water, hence the water now being nice and blue and all that. That's our central landing spot in that area now. It basically splits that area in half. We have the echo camps there as well, which really are more of our close quarter combat experience that we're bringing to it. But the other side of the trench, more about sniper trench warfare. It kind of was in the past, but we've really cleaned it up now with our observation towers, and which we'll get into a little bit later. And then on the rest of the map, we've decided to kind of go in there and clean up the destruction that the Leviathans had caused in the first update down the river. And they smashed a bunch of buildings and bridges and all the rest of that. So we brought some bridges back in the way of filtration devices, and we have 3 crossings where those exist on the map. We've got the Lagoon Crossing, which is across from the Hillside Outpost in the Containment North Watchtower area. We've got the Cage Crossing, which is directly across from where the cage is. And then the Verdant Crossing, which is across from the Southern Watchtower in the south end of the map. So to go along with all that, we've got a bunch of new rotations in the map to make rotating different and new. So obviously with all this new space on the north side of the map, we've got 3 new rotations there. One that goes to the Spotted Lakes on the west-hand side, directly south from the crash site, leads you into the artillery tunnel, which connects to the Northern Watchtower, Cascades, Containment. And then on the east side, there was always a back wall in artillery that looked like it was going somewhere. Well, now it actually does go somewhere. So we've blown that out, so you got that nice rotation from artillery there. So lots of options to rotate through and out of that space. And then going back to the northwest-hand side of the map, where the Spotted Lakes are, that was always a challenge too, to get people in and out of there, because you always had to go around the far side of the edge to rotate out of there or go through the pit. So we blew off a gigantic side of the mountain there between Runoff and the pit, and that's where we have a new area called the Uncovered Bones. We basically uncovered a whole rack of Leviathan bones there now to make another unique, interesting POI there to get a straight shot through from Runoff to the Spotted Lakes, which also resulted in a perch that we have that we also cut into the pit to give you one more rotation out of the pit now, which has a really long zip line that also connects you all the way to the crash ship. So we tried to make it really easy for you to get in and out of that northern section of the map. Some other changes that we made that maybe won't be as noticed, but can be felt over time, is the easing of some of the congestion that's kind of built up on the map over the course of all these successful updates. One that I think players are going to notice pretty quickly is the farm. Kind of decimated the farm now, it's gone. So we've turned that back into transitional space rather than fight space. And it has felt a lot better within our own playtest as well. But you'll also notice some things gone along the broken coast. The destroyed bridges, we've cleaned that all up now and really tried to focus those fights down the river. You'll notice some more buildings gone from the river center and another one gone from around the river's end as well, just to clean that all up and really focus the fights in those areas. That's kind of about it for the big things. The other thing that I want to mention is that we also brought a brand new building kit to Kings Canyon in the way of our ECHO camps, and ECHO stands for Ecological Cleanup and Hazard Outreach, which plays into the whole theme of these toxins leaking from the ship and needing a way to clean them up. But these are really more of a close quarter combat experience again. The big building in the kit also features a vertical zip line, so you can easily reposition yourself within the branches of the camps. And we've had a ton of fun playing with that stuff. It can be fast and furious. And yeah, it's been a lot of fun. I can't wait for people to get in there and try it out and see and feel all this new stuff on the map.
Even just, you know, I've seen obviously the work that you guys have done, but hearing you like break it down, like it's pretty insane actually, like how much you guys did on this map update. Almost feels like a new map in a lot of ways. So really excited for players to kind of, you know, our OG map, experience a map we all know very well, kind of in a really new way. I thought you guys did some really cool stuff. I love the set pieces that are there now. It's really, really cool. Awesome work on that. Thank you for the breakdown.
I just want to throw something in there. I know maybe Brandon or Ed can speak to this. I know part of the motivation for expanding Kings Canyon was actually a response to how players felt about World's Edge and Olympus, and wanting it to bring it more in line with those maps and the size that they offer, because it just provided a play experience people are looking for.
Yeah, like in terms of the amount of POIs on the map, we don't have as many as World's Edge has, but by increasing the size of it, we've just taken down that congestion, that feeling of congestion. And like I was speaking about, like removing a bunch of lagoon buildings and some of the smaller stuff that have been pinch points, where we don't necessarily want combat to happen. We want this to be more transitional spaces, so you have less opportunity to be third-partied on the map. There's a few smaller changes as well that I'm sure people will notice, like balloons moving slightly. So you can't just like fly all the way from one area and drop in on teams fighting elsewhere. But I think we'll leave that stuff up to players to discover as they're in there playing around on the map.
We did early days, you know, when we talked about where we're going to drop that ship, we were always looking at the northwest section of the map as an area that we wanted to change. And we actually dropped the ship somewhere else. But because of constant feedback and following what people were experiencing on Kings Canyon and really wanting to address third partying and size, we knew that Skulltown being gone made Kings Canyon smaller. So we said, you know, here's an opportunity. Let's move that thing. And it was the right call. And it made, I think, one of the stronger POIs right now. And it's pretty exciting to play in there. So it's increased the real estate substantially. And, you know, we always said we wanted to tell a story over the course of the season, and just the story of, here's this ship, we saw Fuse come in on it, it crashed, it's leaking fuel, it's contaminating the water, and how can we tell that story over time? And it segues nicely. I think, you know, it goes all the way to mid-season when we eventually get to our town takeover.
Something else we have coming this season. This is cool. We have a new weapon, and it's been a minute. We're due for a new weapon, and this one is a cool one, both to use and also just the animations are really cool for it. The 3030 repeater. Eric, tell us all about it.
Hi. The 3030 repeater, it makes its way into Apex. Very excited to talk about this gun. We've been working on it for some time now, and I feel like it's a really healthy and fun addition to the roster. It is a heavy ammo weapon. It's being added to the assault rifle category, so it's kind of fleshing that out. And you can kind of think about this weapon as sitting somewhere between like the G7 Scout, the Wingman, and the Longbow. Kind of all three of these weapons got together and produced a weapon baby. You'd have the 3030 repeater. But yeah, it's a really fun and cool weapon to use. Those animations really do sell it. So some of the things to think about when you're using this new weapon is it has a special mechanic that we haven't seen in any other weapon, which is when you're ADSing, so when you're aiming down the sights on this gun, it's actually going to build up a charge. And if you wait for that charge to build up, that charge is going to increase the damage of your next shot. So the reason why we wanted to do something like this was we wanted to reward the disciplined trigger fingers out there. Taking your time to line up those shots and you know, just like you're got a bead on that rabbit running down the field on an old cowboy repeater, you know, out back. That's kind of the thing that we wanted to key into here. So taking that extra time and using it as like an opener in your fights is really, really valuable. You get to crack shields a little bit earlier in those fights. Maybe you'll swap to another weapon to finish off, but it really offers that long-range precision pressure that some other weapons don't quite get, and that's why we wanted to add it to like that G7 scout feeling category. Another thing to sort of think about with this weapon is that its reload is different than a lot of other guns. It has a very similar reload to how the Mastiff works, which is a segmented reload. So you're actually reloading each round individually into that weapon, which gives you the opportunity to cancel the reload anytime you want. So what this gives you is a lot of adaptability in the weapon.
Placing a portal.
It's a really good weapon for peek fighting and taking those peek shots, because not only can you charge it up and then peek, once you're done peeking, you can come back and get that one bullet, those 2 bullets right back in the gun, so you can keep your mag topped up kind of all the time, which gives you that consistent pressure, which is one of the really cool things about this weapon that it offers to the battlefield. I think it's going to really shake things up in those peak fights and those mid-range fights. The audio design on it is killer. I'm so excited for everybody to hear the audio on the 3030. It is chef kiss. It's beautiful. Huge props to the audio guys who worked on it. Really one of the great sounding guns alongside all of our other great sounding guns. I think it really fits it.
Yeah, that's a good. Yep, absolutely.
And keep an eye out for Fuse's special pickup animation, eh?
Ooh, okay. Good call out.
Yeah, we're talking about like kind of lore bits with the map. There's also a bit of a lore connection with the weapon. What we're saying is that the 3030 comes from Fuse's homeworld Salvo. So there's a little, you'll see Eagle Eye People insignias there that connect it, and as Brian was saying, he has a special connection with the weapon.
Another thing is coming back to Season Quest comics, which is something just an awesome addition, I think, to the game. We were doing a video with the writers recently, and something Manny, our lead writer, had said, you know, he considers everybody at Respawn storytellers. You know, the artists, the animators, the sound folks, the writers, everybody contributes to that. And I think the comics have been such a great addition to our battle royale game that has this expansive lore and universe, which I think is just so cool. We were talking last time, I think, Brian, like this works a little bit different this time as far as how these comics are going to be available to players. Can you talk about how that's going to work in Season 8?
Yeah, sure, absolutely. So we had a lot of feedback on certain players not being able to experience the comics in their glory just because they were tied to the treasure pack system. And while the treasure pack system worked really, really well, especially in Season 5 for when we tied them to some PvE quests, as we wanted to share the comics with people, we found that a lot of people were kind of like getting left behind, or they weren't able to read at the same level, and even the opportunities for spoilers were rampant. So what we decided to do is actually separate the two systems. So the comics will come out at the same time for everybody. That's a huge thing we wanted to do for all the players. Is just, here's the story. We want you to join us on this adventure, especially with, you know, Fuse and Maggie's conflict coming in front and center based on the trailers that you're seeing. So we wanted to be able to showcase that right away. And then, you know, in turn, the treasure pack system is still there. Still a nice little login bonus for people to come in and check out, look for something and then get a nice reward. We've doubled the battle pass stars that you get from it, for example, and we're giving you a whole bunch of Apex packs. So definitely, you know, they're worth collecting and enjoying. And you get a really great, we can't spoil exactly what it is, but the weapon charm you get at the end is fantastic. And probably a little bit familiar to some of the folks who are familiar with the lore for Season 8. So once you get there, once you collect all the treasure pack stuff, you'll be able to get something really cool as well. So that's kind of our big change. We wanted to get everyone on the same page, and we wanted to, you know, reward players for the effort for logging in every day. So.
Awesome. Thanks, Brian. I think it's a rad change for sure. Back to you, Eric, because we got to talk about Ranked a little bit. We have our Ranked blog that has gone live, written by Eric, so you guys can follow along with that to understand the changes. But, you know, briefly, Eric, why don't you give us kind of like an overview of the changes we're going to be making to Ranked in Season 8?
Absolutely. So we've got a lot of goals in ranked, and we're always working towards these goals every season. But a couple of goals that we isolated this season that we wanted to focus on was creating a healthier top end in the ranked. And by top end, I mean the ranks like diamonds and above, so diamonds and masters and predators. So that was one of our big goals, and then one of our other big goals is to improve match quality. We just want our matches to feel good. Obviously, we really want the players to enjoy their time in ranks, so striving for those goals is really important for us. So some of the things that we hit on this season to accomplish those goals, we'll kind of run through some of the changes that you can expect to see. You're gonna earn placement RP a little bit earlier in each match. So in previous seasons, you would start to earn your RP by hitting, rank 10 and above, for getting in the last half of the game. And we think that it's okay to start rewarding players a little bit earlier for that. So you can start to exceed these rewards coming in at around rank 13. Start getting a little bit of RP for surviving. Not quite as much. So I think that's going to be a good thing. It's going to help push people through those ranks a little bit faster, which is always a good thing, getting rewarded for your time in rank. Another one of the changes is going to be the kill count. The kill and assist count is going to go up from 5 to 6. And that's a big thing. We want to reward you for the kills that you're getting in the game, and pushing you through those ranks a little bit faster for those kills. So one of my personal favorite changes that's coming in is actually the assist threshold time. In previous seasons, when you would get an assist, you would have to have dealt damage to the person that downed within about 7.5 seconds. And what we're doing is we're extending that timer to 10 seconds. So you're going to be rewarded for participation in these combat engagements a little bit longer. So like if somebody downs them while you backed off to heal, we'll still want to reward you for those things. So you'll get those assists. And I think that that's going to feel really good. It's a good quality of life increase. Another thing is that because ranked has grown, our population has grown, it's a really healthy mode, and we've been building it up over time. We want to actually increase the amount of players that can make it into Predator. So Predator was top 500, and what we've decided to do is make Predator actually the top 750. So a little bit more room in there. Maybe some of you can see an opportunity to sneak into Predator this coming season, which is going to be really, really cool. I can't wait to see those ladder climbs for people trying to make it into Predator. It's really, really fun. And then kind of finally, and this is a big note on ranked, is we're trying to do matchmaking tightening. And what that means is that we are attempting to make it so our matches are, you're queued with people in your rank a little bit more often. Now, this isn't a hard rule or anything, but we're definitely trying to nudge our matches to be in those same ranks so that the matches feel more competitive and more fair, and maybe you don't see as many predators in your bronze matches. That's not what we're trying to do. So tightening all of that up is really important for us and for all of you who are playing it.
All right, next up, let's talk a little bit about patch notes. We got some changes that are coming to Legends and Weapons. John, this is your time to shine, my friend. Let's talk about Legends, my friend. What do we got coming in patch notes?
Yeah, we got some stuff coming for sure. First of all, I want to give a shout out to Eric for rocking the fuse mustache. That thing is badass.
That's
I wish I had the ability to rock that. That's
Don't
awesome.
we all?
Anyway, yeah, we'll start small with some Legend stuff, and then we'll work our way to the bigger stuff. So, start with Caustic. Caustic's win rate has been climbing, particularly in high-level lobbies. And fights involving Caustic tend to be drawn out, lead to more frequent third parties. It can be difficult and frustrating to quickly reset from a fight if a Caustic managed to throw his ult before getting sent back to the lobby. So unlike his gas traps, his ultimate will linger for its full duration even after a squad wipe. And I know many of you Caustic mains have sadistic tendencies, but I think the majority of us agree that your experiments should come to an end once your squad mates are in death balances. So starting this Season 8, all gas dissipates as soon as Caustic's team is eliminated. And then the change targeting mostly high-level play in particular relates to Crypto. Some of you may be familiar with the devastating friendly Arcstar, Drone Stick, EMP, Combo Wombo, and that'll be going away in Season 8. You will no longer be able to stick friendly drones to For those of us who appreciate a good bamboozle, I've got good news. Mirage decoys now create footstep sounds. This was mistakenly mentioned in the mid-season update, but y'all fell for our decoy, and it's here for real this time. For those of us who fall victim to bamboozles, it's okay. There won't be a footstep tornado if a Mirage ults near you, but it will be slightly harder to pick out the real Mirage from audio cues alone. Moving on to Loba. There's a lot of risk associated with opening care packages. There's only a handful of legends that can truly mitigate this risk. We felt it to be appropriate to give our looting legends some power in this area. So in Season 8, loot inside unopened care packages is now visible with their passive and accessible through the black market boutique. Horizon's new to the game and deserves her time in the spotlight as we work out the best way to tweak her. But in the meantime, for Season 8, we're increasing her grav lift cooldown a little more to stay in line with abilities like Path Grapple and Wraith Phase. So similar to Gibby's Bubble, the cooldown timer for her grav lift will start once the ability goes away. So this is effectively just a 4-second increase from what it is currently. And like I mentioned, we're still monitoring the effect this has, or while looking at potential future changes. So moving on to some of the bigger stuff. For the Octane mains out there, we hear you. The super jump went away when the double jump was introduced. And for those of you that aren't familiar with the old super jump, with a well-timed jump while hitting the pad, players could actually launch higher and faster. And once the double jump option was introduced, there was this input crunch that led to unreliable usage. So with what I'll call the jump pad remastered, we're adding some spiciness with a couple launch options that are better defined than the old super jump. Hitting the jump pad from a standing position will launch players along a high arc, the speed and trajectory of the old super jump. And from a crouch position, players will launch along a low arc, meaning they'll fly lower but farther in the horizontal direction. And it's a significant change for sure. I've been playing a lot of Octane recently, and for those of you who've been memeing on the jump pad up until this point, I definitely invite you to try it out. There's some pretty significant changes. So, let's talk about Wraith. In Season 7, we adjusted Pathfinder's hitbox so that more of his model was shootable. Through all the grapple changes, 15 seconds, 35 seconds, variable cooldown, this was the one change that had a significant effect. And we know her kit offers a lot of combat utility, and we expect her to still be a popular pick. But her crazy high win rate across all skill levels should come down a bit, and we believe hitbox tweaks could be the answer. And you'll see a picture in the patch notes comparing the before and after. You'll see the changes stay true to her model while adding a little thickness mostly in like her torso and legs. So she'll still be hard to hit, so she'll be retaining low profile, but she'll now have a slightly bigger hitbox than Lifeline ones. So on the flip side of the scale, firmly in the I need a buff category is Rampart. And Rampart has remained at the bottom of our performance metrics since her release, so she's getting some love in Season 8. Sheila's angle will be increasing from 120 to 180 degrees, and walls will now have 45 HP instead of 1 as they build. In a game as fast as Apex, reactive power is important. Rampart is designed to be very proactive, and when you play to that strength, she does well. But unlike her counterparts, she can't do much when she's caught flat-footed. We feel that giving the walls some HP as they build could be a way to mitigate this. And we don't expect players to start cranking 90s with Rampart walls, and 45 HP felt like a safe starting point. So please let me know how that feels, and I know I'll be trying her out a lot more. And one caveat with this is sniper ammo, which is the only type of ammo in the game that can do like collateral damage. That same logic applies to these walls as they build. So if Rampart tries to slap down the wall in the open to get like a cheeky res, when it's in that building phase, you are able to still pierce through that and hit enemies behind that. And then that's all we got for Legends. So even with the R99's return, the Volt has remained dominant. So we're going to reduce the per bullet damage from 16 to 15. And on the flip side, we want to give the alternator some love. So its damage will increase from 15 to 16. In regards to LMGs, we want to focus on this identity of this weapon class within Apex. We believe that each LMG magazine should pack a lot of potential power within reason. And at the same time, there should be a significant moment of vulnerability during reload. So in line with that thinking, we're increasing the per bullet damage of the Spitfire from 18 to 19, in conjunction with increasing the reload time by about 14 to 15%. And last but not least, the EVA 8 is getting a slight fire increase from 2.0 to 2.1. We felt that EVA could use a little love, considering it'll lose some versatility with the double tap actually getting removed from the loot pool for Season 8. Which means we'll segue into, we got room for the return of a fan favorite, and that is the Anvil Receiver. For those of you who don't know, the Anvil Receiver can be equipped on the R301 or the Flatline, and it increases semi-auto damage, but decreases that semi-auto fire rate. And one more thing, as far as the loot pool is concerned, we have a new legendary attachment coming with Season 8. Gold barrel stabilizers will be replaced with gold magazines. These have the same ammo capacity as purple mags, but automatically reload when your gun is stowed for, I believe it's at least 5 seconds. So that's everything I got. I'm excited to see how these changes shake up the meta, and I'm curious to see where Fuse and the 30-30 fit in there.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's gonna be a lot of fun stuff too, and good calling out the gold mags there. One thing I did want to call out and speak to, I understand we made some changes to how weekly challenges work.
Yeah, so for the challenges, we did a couple of small things. We basically just made it so that they were a lot more player favoring, and we wanted to
哦，是 Apex 的声音。原来如此。没有 Apex 的声音，应该是两个角色在谈话。哎，那你除了枪战游戏，还有玩什么游戏啊？哦，就只有那手游也只玩枪战。哦，这些就是你的最多了。懂。我知道，所以你世界最多就只有那些。然后明日方舟是休闲，我都不知道明日方舟是休闲。封山、梦境连接、Free Fire， 全部，哎，你全部都是，你全部都是像这啊？你有玩明日方舟？哦，不是，Free Fire 是枪战吧？啊，明日，哎，他还是枪战，我认为啦。等我一下，我拉错了。哦，那你等我一下。妈的，不是，我很久没玩明日，大概过了，我有课，明日我有课一点点，就课一点点。课很少，超少，大概课了2000块而已。不是那个时候我想抽，姐你不上来吗？姐？对啊，那个三幻神版本。姐，上台吗？姐？不是，我是夜神，不是，是一个已经没落的。很多了，很多，这个也算是其中一种。为什么？不是，那我可以问个问题，你为什么觉得他吵？你觉得他哪里吵？啊？或许记忆力错乱。哇哦！ 哇哦的那种。呼呼呼呼呼。手里准备。我吗？对不起，我没有。没有啊，现在陪伴反而是一种很莫名其妙的事情。怎么了？应该是小学生以前开始，因为这个时代，大家都已经沉迷网，慢慢的就已经忘记，没有忘记，已经忘记，比较多人已经忘记。我听不清楚，我听不清楚，我应该是听到他说你。
アークナイツ。
你刚刚断麦了。
ドクター、なんか面白いことない？58
哦，我竟然有58分，哦，我竟然有58分，来看一下有什么。等一下，我先看一下我现在有什么改。很久没上线了，我大概也快半 的是银灰，我现在比较可能要缺的是银我有其他支账号，你可以看一下，就知道我那个时候为了刷能天使我刷的。有啊，我每次都有刷，可是我这一支刷的是比较，应该说这支是很后期玩的，为什么？因为有能天，我后来发现有一关能天比较好。没有，我刚刚打的是球。已经很久没有了，我的朋友都已经上去了，朋友他们都已经上去了，这个他们都已经上去了，我太久没有，他们都已经上去了。我打到6只几，我好像第五关打完之后我就完全没碰了，而且第五关还是回归打的，我第五关回归打完之后就不碰了。除非他这一个给我中皮补回来了，如果没有中皮，那我过。
私はフェン、やり使いです。行動予備隊 A6 の隊。
你们能等我吗？你们等我一下。我这一关，可能觉得你可能。你应该有这2只吧？
マップと敵座標の DMA 設定を適用しています。少々お待ちください。どうかな。
这2只超级平庸的，算了，我开始。消解我可以。
奴らが災いを生み出し、戦争を引き起こした元凶なのか。
はあ？
私の出番？ 私の出番？
スピードアップ。
お前の叫びなんて誰にも届かねえよ。
突撃。
抹殺する。お前の叫びなんて誰にも届かねえよ。
突撃。
おい、痛えか？痛えのか？
どうかな。
そこに並びやがれ。
スピードアップ。
ターゲット了解しました。
スピードアップ。
ターゲットは誰だ？痛えか？痛えのか？
突撃。
痛えか？痛えのか？
スピードアップ。
あっちしよ。負傷した者はすぐに知らせるんだ。もっと声を上げろ。場所はここがいいかな。
突撃。突撃。
そこに並びやがれ。
突撃。
痛えか？痛えのか？ します。おバカさんたち、
害虫だ。
お前の叫びなんて誰にも届かねえよ。痛えか？痛えのか？お前の叫びなんて誰にも届かねえよ。お前の叫びなんて誰にも届かねえよ。お前の叫びなんて誰にも届かねえよ。もっと声を上げろ。痛えか？痛えのか？もっと声を上げろ。いいぞ、もっと来いよ。もっと声を上げろ。
我这一关我经常要跑，我可以干掉很高，但是我就是觉得这应该是我
もっと声を上げろ。ロックンロール。
没机了，红刀哥。
輸血準備。アップルパイ。お前の叫びなんて誰にも届かねえよ。お前の叫びなんて誰にも届かねえよ。痛えか？痛えのか？輸血準備。お前の叫びなんて誰にも届かねえよ。ファイヤーブレイズ。一歩も引かないよ。そこに並びやがれ。おい。 限りやります。アースユニット起動します。
嗨，这位你好，欢迎进入直播。
全ては秩序にのっとるべきだ。摂理に反することなど誰にも許されない。
我们来看一下5之10到底多难打。我不确定我现在这种打不打得过，应该是打不太过，因为我没有放那个，我没有放那个。
完璧な戦果を上げてこな。どうせ弱いんだ。お前らみんなまとめてかかってこいよ。頑張ります。突撃。ちょっと体が少し熱いかもしれませんよ。アップルパイ。スピードアップ。地獄の豪華。少し熱いかもしれませんよ。治療開始。これでどうです？バラージュ。迎撃開始。前に進むぞ。どうかな。おバカさんたち、僕が恥には気をつけてください。治療モード適用して。どうかな。そこに並びやがれ。スピードアップ。痛えか？痛えのか？バランス。 スユニット起動カップルパイ。
どうかな。
これでどうです？
突撃。
温度安定しています。ロックンロール。そんなもんうちには来たねし。痛えか？痛えのか？戦場は凄惨な悲劇を生むだけの場所だ。こいつらにもそれを理解してもらいたいものだ。
来看一下这次的活动。五弦夜话，故事。哎，要开战了！哎，我怎么是你没有声音，还是我没有声音？他没有声音吗？是他没有声音吗？听得到，刚刚没声音了。
ちゃんと面白い戦いにしてくれるかな。ドクター、ここっていい景色だね。どうせ弱いんだ。お前らみんなまとめてかかってこいよ。行きます。わあ、寝ちゃうところだった。リンゴちゃん、今日もよろしくね。弱者の先には破滅が待つのみですわよ。
どうかな。
歯の深き運、本気でいくよ。ターゲットロックオン。ちょっとからかってあげようっと。
スピードアップ。
前に進むぞ。
おバカさんたち、僕が相手だよ。
厉害，在直播说。
気をつけて行動しますね。火事には気をつけてください。わあ、寝ちゃうところだった。ここが戦場。温度安定しています。火事には気をつけてください。 けてください。
你不买2台手机吗？
全ては秩序にのっとるべきだ。摂理に反することなど誰にも許されない。
ドクター、なんか面白いことない？
为什么你为什么不去买 HTC 10或 HTC 9，然后让它用最低效能去跑明日方舟？不是，我是说，我刚刚说的那2台都是非常便宜，不到我记得不到7000块。HTC 10是手机。不去买一台 HTC 10，它现在只需要7000块钱，然后你用那个7000块钱去刷你的挂盖，对不对？对不对？
マップと敵座標の DMA 設定を適用しています。少々お待ちください。みんな助けて。わあ、りんごちゃん、今日もよろしくね。
スピードアップ。
頑張ります。火事には気をつけてください。みんなこっち来て。おバカさんたち、僕が相手だ。温度安定しています。温度安定しています。
奴らを抑える。
私を呼び起こしてくださったのはあなたですね。行きます。少し暑いかもしれませんよ。火事には気をつけてください。わあ、行っちゃうところだった。賢者は常に先んじる。迎撃開始。ついてきて。
強化しろ。
よーし。まあ銃だって詰まる時はあるし、人生も同じだよ。気にしない気にしない。
我用其他支账号来说，反正我其他支账号应该也比较。
ドクター、なんか面白いことない？
待って。等我一下。
アークナイツ、
优秀 ，level 6，这个就是刷账号的产物。我来看一下我这个有什么。有推网，我竟然有推网。就是9%哎，负99%我太准没有了，他在要我这个游戏。
レッドウルフハンター、ここも狼の匂いがする。我が名は白雪。はじめまして上官ロンメン。
哦，这个是什么东西呀？这是什么烂东西呀？当然是练它呀，为什么不练红豆？红豆香哎，红豆这个还有猪油装哎，红豆这么香，对吧？当然练红豆。红豆圣，我怎么不记得红豆圣？我觉得还好。我比他更。等一下，你觉得这只是女的对不对？我说这一只。来，观众们，你们觉得这是男的还是女的？来，我来揭晓。很多新手把它当成。啊，还有我生的这只克洛斯，假设里面有能天使，请把它给我，它是能天使的地态。不要用古古打要洗脑我，不要用古古打要洗脑我，不要用古古打要洗脑我。
聞いてるよ。戦ってる時はここにいたのね。ここだよ。
我把声音调得来了，听好了，克洛斯的。你们想听的可可打又要来。
ここだよ。ここだよ。
没有，其实我原本就掉这个。
ここだよ。こ
狗狗你在干嘛？狗狗仔哦。等一下，慢点。现在创一只新账，然后他会给那个。
アークナイツ
不是，他说错，他兔子，不是因为我们太常叫他阿米驴了，我们太常说他阿米驴了，我们太常叫他驴了啦，我们太常叫他驴，不是，真的，我们大家都叫他阿米驴。我们真的，你自己问我们我们比较多人都是叫阿米驴。而且不止。
ちょっとからかってあげようっと。
阿米驴，不是，最主要是太多人叫阿米驴了，真的，官群都是叫阿米驴，官群几乎都是叫阿米驴。我说这个不好说，这个真的不好说。看他妈的，很多人都叫他驴。
始めよう。
我双亲不是人族吗？等一下，妈的，我。哦，双星，双星是，那个，什么族？用，那个叫，不是那个叫什么雕，雪雕，如果我没记错，那不然是什么？对不起，我没在用，而且我也没那只角色，我没用啊，最主要。哦对哦，你说的是狐狸呀、我觉得狐狸可以出来了，我觉得那只，说。那个萝莉狐，那个很多尾巴的白色的那个，小萝莉，是那个叫什么？我忘了，太久没玩了。为什么？我但是大家的不是吗？铃兰。你也是哦。你是御姐，那你是御姐对不对？
おかえり、ドクター。
这个人是全属性控啊！这是全属性控啊！我靠！ 这是什么东西啊？为什么要给这一只啊？为什么要给这一只啊？啊！干啊！
潜入成功。
你妹的！啊，没事，他到后面有用。啊，他到后面有用。他到后面有用。对，快速死亡，快速复活。为什么？不是，どうして？
作戦を始めるぞ。
那你可以看大家玩。
わかりました。
哎，这个是新手哎。有啊。
任せね。
堵门，这也是我的回忆，有没有很棒？堵门，堵门，堵门，你妹！
敵が来ます。皆さん、戦闘の準備をしてください。
干！干！啊！你去服侍的那关，你跟他讲还敢出来啊？你就用突袭跟他讲还敢出来，干！
おかえり、ドクター。
妈呀！不要拿真银斩杀人啊！真银斩不好用啊！那当然啦，艾尔法亚这么好用的东西，先把它给专三啊，剩下不是可以专三吗？还是武器的可以专三？对啊，可以啊。来，他说的堵门。Come on。有啊，还有一个人，他不是人吗？他难道不是人吗？浩辰难道不是人吗？浩辰难道不是？浩辰呢？哈？哈？他走了，他要怎么留言？他走了，他要怎么留言？什么？我有病？你要不要把？你要不要往下说？我叫你往下滑。我叫你往下滑。
おかえり、ドクター。
浩辰，你现在打字。浩辰，你现在打字。浩辰，你现在打字。他打1、2、3、4、5、6、7、8、9。他打了。他打了。你可以。浩辰，你不是人。浩辰，你不是人。怎么办，浩辰？哎，待って。这个可以留到很后面，这都没关系。我不知道哎，我这边是一直看到你在留言的。 嗯。
失望はさせません。皆さんのことは私がお守りします。
请问秋雪哥哥，你看到他留言了吗？你不把他当人，简单而言，你不把他当人。
俺30。
なるほどね，原来如此呢。哎，我是不是放错？对，我放错字。
私はここに。
分かったぞ。
ここは安全です。
系统不把你当人，别这样子。你是一个。甩得到吗？我很怀疑甩得到吗？我很怀疑甩得到吗？我很怀疑甩得到吗？我很怀疑。
獲物の末路、いつも同じ。
等一下。哦，等一下。我从来没有看过别人甩蚊子还可以甩到，因为它很难甩。
おかえり、ドクター。
我有看过裤子没甩，我有看过一个人很疯的甩裤子，我有看过一个人很疯的在甩蚊子，这样可以吗？那个是湿的，黑起湿的。那是湿的，别这样子，那是湿。哥，你知道湿的跟不湿的有差很多吗？不是，哥，不是这个，不是我说的是。湿的里面有水分，它会让整个东西都更有那种甩出去的感觉，对，更有重力。你在甩的时候会更有重力。你要怎么粘？你粘死。
ラテラーノ出身。射撃探偵ドクターの指示のおかげですね。
我觉得这个人怪怪的。我觉得这个人怪怪的。
おかえり、ドクター。
我觉得这个人怪怪的。还没有采购中西。要5颗哦，你等我一下。为什么？我03而已，我03而已。
大丈夫です。
那你去打那个啊，你去打经验值或者是 B 啊，龙门 B 啊。
最前線に立つことが俺たち重装オペレーターの大事な役目なんだぜ。
分かったぞ。
什么东西？
早く逃げた方がいいですよ。
这是什么东西？
獲物が見えるぞ。作戦開始じゃ。
了解しました。
待って待って他要死。
ここは
待って待って他要死他要死。危险。
作戦を始めるぞ。
这就是你们所谓的赌。
敵が来ます。皆さん、戦闘の準備をしてください。
第一次这样赌门。对，第一次。
皆さんが無事であることが
不要想，没有错，第一次赌
励ましになります。
来喽，时间抽喽！来了，要时间抽了，要时间抽了！来喽，我赌你，我跟你赌，如果有出6星，你觉得会出什么？没有，就抽陈或者是这个叫什么？科尔伯，你觉得要出哪个？你觉得要抽哪个？那你觉得要抽哪个？假设没有中啊，我可以跟你讲，假设没有中。等一下，我等一下稍等一下，我先看一下他技能。125、3114，这是什么？法术伤害哦。所以，那我问个问题：科尔伯比较好，还是陈比较好？他妈的，我是要死在心上！操！妈的嘞！哪边笑哪边舔，干！你有毒吗？好啦，我们说科尔伯。准备好，反正这是时间说啊，我还没拉。啊，不是了啦！哎。屌丝！他妈，我之前都抽3个，干！我们新手战一次都抽3个，起码3个以上。
アークナイツ。
泰国跟毛。
おかえり、ドクター。
删除，谢谢。 删除，谢谢。删除该账号，谢谢。OK， 可以了。